My name is Cassandra Lawson. I am your co-host for the Sisterlocks Speaks podcast. I am a Sisterlocks senior trainer, a consultant, and I specialize in all things Sisterlocks. I am here with my beautiful co-host, Jessica. Hey, Jessica.
Hi, Cassandra.
How
How
are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Let
Good.
everybody know who you are.
Well, I am Jessica Davis, the owner of Also Natural Hair Care Clinic LLC in Killeen, Texas. I'm also a senior trainer, certified Sisterlocks consultant, brand ambassador, board certified trichologist, and a host of other things. But I am loving that I'm all things Sisterlocks, and I'm glad to be here co-hosting with you on this beautiful Monday afternoon.
Yes, it is a gorgeous day, and I am super excited. Today's topic is the importance of client pre-education.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me say that one more time. Today's topic is important of client pre-education, and we have an amazing guest lined up, Gretel Johnson. She is a Sister Lock senior trainer, and we're going to bring her in just a little bit later.
Nice.
But I just want to start off by talking about, we all know that Sister Locks is more than just a hairstyle, right?
Right.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Uh, it gives us freedom. And as consultants, we are always telling our clients, can you just trust the process? Trust the process. But as trainers, we have to tell the consultants and ourselves that we have to trust the process.
Absolutely.
And Sister Locks is a system, right? We have to trust that system. Jessica, what benefits are there to consultants and trainees who trust the Sister Lock system?
Oh my God, there's so many. The first benefit is you have the backing of the company, the Sisterlocks company, backing us in every move that we make. The second one is Sisterlocks, as you said, is a complete system. So within that system, it's going to provide everything that we need to establish a perfect set of Sisterlocks the way that it was taught and in no other way. And so with that, when you're taking the class, you have the assurance to know that once you complete that class, that of course you're going to have to get that extra mentorship and things like that, but you have everything that you need along with the backing of the company to make sure that you are going to be successful in this Sisterlocks community with the system.
And what are some of the problems that
Mm.
can occur when people take shortcuts?
Oh my God. So shortcuts end up having unstable, non-uniform Sisterlocks. You can end up with a lot of holes and things of that nature, and a client that is upset and not pleased with the service. We always say that the establishment looks beautiful when it's completed, but the issues show up 6 months down the road when the locks have settled and stopped shimmying around, and that's when the client becomes more aware of what has not been done standard. So we want to make sure that we establish those locks correctly the first time.
Can you give us an example of some shortcuts that clients and and consultants take? And what can happen?
Well, the main shortcut is not showing the client how to bundle, braid and bundle. The other shortcuts are not using the starter shampoo. Some other shortcuts are giving a client a locking pattern that is not conducive to the hair characteristics of their hair. Another shortcut could be just not doing a consultation and not doing sample locks. I see that often. Social media, you see clients or potential clients on social media, and they'll post, "Oh, I have my my starter locks, my sample locks," and you only have one or two sample locks. Like, what is that? And so that's the shortcut that I see taken a lot on social media, which is, again, the things that we should not do. Because if you're not using the proper amount of sample locks with the locking patterns that we established to use, how do you know what's the locking pattern for that client's, hair characteristics? So those are a few of the things that I see. I would love to introduce Cassandra, you and the community, to one of our senior trainers, Ms. Gretels Johnson. She hails from Texas, in the Dallas area, and she is phenomenal in our community. She does so many wonderful things in her community. The Three Trees Trinity Space LLC is one of her babies, and you can find her on YouTube. She has a wealth of information to provide to the community. She's been with Sister Locks for so many years. I'm going to allow her to tell that number, but I've had the opportunity to train with her on several occasions, and I have learned so much from Miss Gretel Johnson. And I am glad to have you here with us today. So let's get into this.
Well, thank you for that lovely intro, Jessica and Cassandra. Hey,
Hey.
happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Miss Gretel, can you tell us how you first found out about Sister Locks and what made you decide to become a Sister Locks consultant?
Oh, I love telling this story. I would tell it in every class. Around 1997, I was speaking with a young lady who happened to come into my salon and spa, and she actually wanted to talk about her daughter's hair. She wanted her daughter to have to get a relaxer. However, when she came in, this is what I saw, and I kid you not, I saw her gliding across the floor, and her beautiful, long, glorious locks hung way past her bum. And then I noticed that she was dressed very casually, but for some reason on that day, she looked so regal with those locks. Well, I listened to her talk about how she wanted her daughter to get this relaxer, and her mouth was moving, but my focus was on her hair. After we talked about her daughter's hair, I asked her about those locks. Not that I hadn't seen locks before, because I had, but for some reason that day, I don't know, they just stood out. So she said, well, I am a transplant to the Dallas area, but if I could do it again, I would get Sister Locks. I'd never heard of Sister Locks. So of course I was curious, what are they? She said, they're really small and you can style them any way you want. She said, and this month in the Essence magazine, there's a tiny little ad. I couldn't wait for my day to be over so I could jet right down to the drugstore and pick up that Essence magazine, which I did. In the magazine, if you weren't looking for it, you'd almost miss it. I flipped through the pages. I found this page and it had a number, and I called it. And Dr. Cornwell, founder of Sister Locks, answered the phone back in those days.
Wow.
I was starstruck. So I told her my interest in getting Sister Locks. At that time, there were no consultants in the Dallas and Fort Worth area. So I had to travel to Austin because there was a gentleman there doing Sister Locks. My husband took me down and I did the consultation. I had to wait and then go back to get my Sister Locks established. So actually, I was the first to be certified in this area. And that came a year later,
Nice.
98.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's how I came to know about Sister Locks.
Nice. So how long have you been a trainer for Sister Locks?
I've been with Sister Locks for 25 years as a consultant.
Okay.
I've been a trainer since 2011. So this is what, 2023?
That's a long time.
Yes, it's family.
Yeah.
Sister Locks is family. All of you are family. I love the name Sister Locks. Doesn't that make you feel like family?
Yeah. If it rolls off real smooth.
It does. Sister Locks.
So how can someone find out information about Sister Locks? Where would you send them to first?
Well, let me just say this. Back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
when I became a consultant, we had these cards, and I wish I had one. It's in a file someplace. We had these cards that we would mail out to prospective clients. And we don't have to do that in this age of emailing. So you can email somebody some information. But the best way for people who are interested in getting Sister Locks to find out any information is to go to the Sister Locks website, which is simple, sisterlocks.com.
Mhm.
And there is a plethora of information about Sisterlocks. And, if you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, there you will find fun stuff. There's the media area, there's the photo gallery, there's the blog. There's lots of information and
Nice.
more details about Sisterlocks itself. And how about find a consultant in your area?
What are the 4 pre-education documents, and can you break them down for us? What are we using?
Okay, to pre-educate a client. First of all, Dr. Cornwell thought of everything, did she not?
Yes.
We have the Sisterlocks package. That says a lot right there. In the Sisterlocks package, a client knows that there will be 3 visits to her consultant, or one who she believes will be her consultant. And the first visit is the consultation.
Mhm.
And there's lots that happen during that consultation. First of all, we want to get to know that client. We don't want to just vomit information onto her about everything who we are and all about Sisterlocks. We really want to get to know her. There's this quote that I love to share. It says, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care."
Oh, nice. That's
So
beautiful.
when you care about them, they can feel it. When you ask people about themselves, people love to talk about themselves and they love to hear their name. So during your consultation, you want to call them by their name, and you want to find out about their hair and their hair history.
Mhm.
You want to find out how much time they spend with their hair. You want to find out if they're concerned about what other people think about their hair, from the husband if they're married to those who she or he work with. Okay. So you want to get to know about that client, drawing as much information as you possibly can.
Right.
And then after you ask her all of those questions, you go into sharing all about Sisterlocks, which is so exciting because it's brand new. And by the time they reach you, because they will have researched Sisterlocks anywhere from 6 months to a year. You see.
Mhm. Yeah.
At least you remember when you first got your locks and how you couldn't wait to read about this person's locks and what they had
Right.
to say, right? How excited can you go back to that time of when you felt so excited? And then the moment you get to actually sit down with your prospective consultant, it's just thrilling.
Yeah.
Well, we want to know about their hair texture. So we're going to examine their hair texture. We want to look at what else? I've got some notes here. We want to look at how dense their hair is.
Okay.
Because quite honestly, everyone is not a candidate for Sisterlocks.
Right.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
most people are, but on rare occasions, you will have to do that hard thing of telling someone you don't believe Sisterlocks would be right for them.
Yeah.
And as a leader and as senior trainers, we are in a leadership position. If you find that one person out of your gazillion clients that you have or will have that is not a candidate, as a leader, you want to offer them some option.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. So now the second visit is the locking session. During this process, by the way, during the consultation, we do put test locks in their hair.
Right.
So we do 3 to 4 rows of 3 to 4 locks so we can determine which, by the time she comes back, because she'll do 2 shampoos before we see her again to see how they held in. We may have put 2 locking patterns to see which one held best. We may have even did 2 different types of tension to
Mhm.
determine which holds better. So once we do that, then we schedule her appointment. She comes back for the second visit, which is the locking session. So during the locking session, we will have already informed our client. And if this is a new trainee performing the service, it's going to take them probably about 30 hours approximately to establish an average head of locks with hair about the length of 5 inches, okay, or less. So you want to let them know, bring a book. We're going to watch movies of your choosing. It's going to be comfortable for you. However, you are going to be here quite some time. So we want to let them know that. What else during that locking session? Well, without giving too much detail, because this is proprietary information,
Right.
just know that the client is going to be there for, if it's a new consultant, a new trainee, approximately 30 hours. If it's an experienced person like yourselves, anywhere from 12 to 15 hours.
Yeah.
On an
I will piggyback off of that because I know my first establishment was about 38 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You just have to do it and don't get caught up in, this is my first time and I'm scared. I know people who I know they ought to be certified by now. However, because of the fear of failure, they will not send in all of their paperwork and photos. So you just have to do it. As a matter of fact, I don't know where I got this quote from, and I love quotes, as you can tell. Sometimes we have to take massive imperfect action to get started.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Now, the third visit is the follow-up. During that follow-up visit, and I tell those in the class, listen, this is going to be a full retightening, not just the hairline. There was a period of time folks would come in and just get their hairlines retightened. No, this is a full head retightening for that client. A lot happens during that time because they will have shampooed their hair a couple of times because we want to schedule them 4 to 6 weeks out from when we establish their locks. We want to see if the locks have held their integrity. And if so, all is well. If not, then we do some investigative work by asking our clients questions. Here again, delving deep into the client, find out if there's excessive slippage. How did she shampoo? Did she loosely braid and bundle? If so, where did she shampoo her hair? Over the sink or in the shower? If not that, did she go swimming? So we do a little investigation to find out if there was a lot of slippage. If so, why? The other thing that we want to make note of during the follow-up visit is, how is she doing? Does she still love those locks that she investigated for 6 months to a year? Does she have any questions? Otherwise, we are about our business of retightening those locks. And then we can determine if she can move that span of time for retightening out a little further. 8 weeks is the max. 8 weeks is the max, but there are clients who can go from 4 to 8 weeks as opposed to 4 to 6. For the first 6 months, you want to make sure that client is coming in every 4 to 6, however.
Yeah, that's some good information. Yeah. Okay. So how do you think this information is going to be helpful to not only the client, but the consultant as well?
I'm sorry. We have 3 more documents to cover.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Because she's okay.
All
We
right.
talked about the Sisterlocks package.
Yes. Okay. So now the Sisterlocks client consultation form. We want them to know, again, how long it's going to take for their consultation. We did that already. We talked about their hair issues, if they have any. We also want to determine their unique texture, which we will have done that already. The main thing about this particular document is to find out if the client has a relaxer or not, because oftentimes people think, oh, this is for natural hair. I don't have natural hair, but I want them. I have all of this relaxer on my hair. Then let them know and tell them to let their friends know that even if you have a relaxer, you can still get Sisterlocks. You simply need to let your hair grow out for 1.5 to 2 inches. We need that much new growth so that we can start that locking process. So they don't need to cut their hair. In addition, the Sisterlocks products are the only products that we are going to recommend for our clients. They're pH balanced. The shampoos, the conditioners are all pH balanced to work well with our locks. Even though they're small, we have products that will rinse out very, very well. Dr. Cornwell worked with a chemist, and she went through a few generations of products before we got to where we are now with products that work so very well for every hair type. And you don't necessarily have to have natural hair or locks to use the products. I know one consultant, she had a gentleman come to do some work in her home, and I don't remember what this guy came to do, but he saw this product with the flying lady on the label, and he asked her about it. She went into her dissertation about the product, and she sold him some shampoo. So yes, anyone, if you have family members that don't have Sisterlocks, they can still use the product.
That's the beauty of it, right?
It is the beauty of it. All right. So now the other form that we have is the appointment instruction sheet. We want our clients to know that nothing should get in the way of their appointment. We want them to view their appointment with us like their appointment with their physician. And we will take off from work to go see our doctors, right?
That's right.
Let's do it. And once you set up, people end up the way they start up. Once you start with, and I love Dr. Cornwell for establishing a professional protocol for us, let them know how important this is. Because at some point, especially if you knew at some point, you're going to have a full roster. And you want clients to get in the habit of scheduling an appointment 1 or 2 in advance, and then to come on time. We talk about how important it is to come with clean hair. That's important because oftentimes consultants are working from home and they don't have a salon like you do, Miss Jessica and Miss Cassandra. You ladies are in a facility with a shampoo area. Most are not, or some are not. I won't say most. I don't have that data. So come with clean hair. Don't put any oils in the hair. Don't blow the hair out. And I'm speaking of prior to getting the locks, but still, no oils, no greases, none of that. None of it is necessary because the Creator created us in such a way that our hair oils itself. Yeah. So we have these natural oils that work their way down the hair strand or the lock. So we don't need oils and greases. I want to share this story real quickly because, we're attached. Before we get accustomed to not putting oils and greases on our hair, we tend to be attached to a lot of product. When hair is in its natural state, it doesn't require that. In Sisterlocks, the family of products is relatively small, Yeah. So we need to shampoo our hair. Sisterlocks addresses that for every hair type. If there's a dandruff issue, there's products for that. And then if you spend too much time in the sun or if you color your hair, we have the products for that. So just know that we have what you need, yet you don't need a lot. Yeah. We want our clients to let us know 24 hours beforehand if they can't make it. So this particular appointment document states that they will let us know if they can't come, particularly if they're ill. Right. Don't come and get us sick, and then the whole family, everybody in the house is ill. And then we likewise will do the same. If we're unwell, we'll let them know so that they don't come, and then they will reschedule. But the other thing that I love so much about Sisterlocks and our family with this, the family vibe with this company, we are not averse from letting others or rather partnering with other consultants. So that if they're ill, they can do our clients. If we ill, we can do their clients. And then everybody returns to their home client when it's right and perfect. I love that about our Sisterlock company. So that's what I have to say about that. And then the final document is the all-important client agreement.
Yes.
Ooh. So now we have our locks, or rather, we're about to get our locks, and we want to make sure that the client knows or understands everything we told them during the consultation. We've answered all of their questions. We've asked as many questions as possible, and we drove home the point that no products should ever be used on your hair other than Sisterlocks shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, none other. And think about it. When people want to try various products, they're going for the smell.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea to advise clients, put whatever fragrance you love on your person, on your body, because that's not what's going to make your locks stay in place. That's not what's going to keep them healthy. So only Sisterlocks products. We let them know that in this document that they will only use Sisterlock products. And if they choose to use anything else, the consultant is not responsible for the condition of their locks. And they sign it, you file it away. So that keeps us all on the same accord.
I love it.
Yeah.
It leaves no room for a person to be confused about the whole process.
It leaves Dr. Cornwell took care of everything for us. I've made a note here. There's no guess. She took out all the guesswork.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. We don't have to wonder. We don't have to make up anything. She took out all of the guesswork. All we have to do is follow that protocol, and all is well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think this information can help a client and a consultant?
Just that. I
Okay.
think it will help them because the client doesn't have to wonder any questions she has, you can answer. And the consultant doesn't have to guess her way through the process. Everything that we need has been provided.
Yeah.
That's what I have to share.
Yeah. So you have pretty much answered the pre-education question because, well, no, not necessarily. How would you handle or provide your client with pre-education?
I would send them directly to the Sisterlock website, www.sisterlocks.com, and scroll down to the bottom of the page where there's, no, it's not at the bottom anymore. It's kind of closer to the top, but there's an information center. Just click on that information center, and there's a ton of information there.
Yeah.
To educate yourself and to, back in the day, what we did? Dr. Cornwell had created these videos, and one is called Come Home to Sisterlocks. The other one is about the Sisterlock approach. So we would retail these two videos to our clients so they could share that with their family members and friends. But now, all you have to do is go to the Sisterlock website and click. You can see those two original videos as well as a ton of others. Ultimately, it is imperative that the consultant send out those 4 documents, send it to your prospective client so she is well aware and she can come with intelligent questions, because now she's got something to work with. So that's important. Send those out.
Nice. Well, thank you, Ms. Gretel, for your time. We really appreciate you coming here and providing a wealth of information that we can share regarding Sisterlocks and the complete consultation and establishment process. We really appreciate you, and we thank you.
Thank you for asking me. I'm honored to be here.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Cassandra. Bye for now.
Bye. Okay, Jessica. Oh my gosh, that was a great interview with Miss Gretel. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
How can a client benefit from following the maintenance habits of the Sisterlocks system?
They will have beautiful, flowing, natural, standard Sisterlocks. They will benefit because they're not only will their locks be beautiful and flowing, their scalp will be healthy. If they have any color issues, the reconstructor will work to provide that protein and reconstruct the beauty of their locks. If they have dandruff issues, there's the dandruff shampoo there to assist with those issues. And I mean, they have so many benefits. I mean, again, beautifully flowing locks, standard set of Sisterlocks. The system works for you. And so following that regimen, you will end up with beautiful locks for a lifetime, not just for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm. And I want to add to that. I always let my clients know, by following the system, you save money.
Yeah.
Sisterlocks is a huge investment, the establishment, particularly the maintenance over time. So when clients take the time to follow the basic maintenance, and consultants for that matter, you save money. We charge hourly. Mm-hmm. So, by doing everything you're supposed to do, that hourly rate, it really cuts it down to be as low as possible within that 2 to 4 hour average, of a Sisterlock retightening, right? So right, I always tell my clients, if you don't take care of your locks, I'm going to charge you more. And you don't want me to take your money. So my clients, they joke around, they're like, I was going to put this in my hair. And I thought, like, no, I don't want to, give Cassandra extra money. And so, I talk to my clients about dollars when it comes to that, because I notice that, sometimes they take it a little bit more seriously, because it is a practical part, to that. We want to limit that cost for them. And then as a consultant, Jessica, what advice do you have, or how would you handle a client who is non-compliant?
Oh, I would bring them, the first time I would have a little conversation, reminding them. Second time, if it happens again, we're going to go back to our paperwork. What, Ms. Gretel talked about, that client agreement that they signed. The third and final time, it would be me having a conversation with them, reminding them the things that we discussed 1, 2, and 3 this time. And if you're not going to be compliant, then I can refer you to the sisterlocks.com website and help you to find someone that is going to be will be more beneficial to work with them within that situation. So I mean, because again, the Sisterlocks is a system, and if a person is not going to be willing to comply to those things, it makes our job harder to assist them on the journey. And so if they're not willing to do that, there's, we're all adults, unless it's a child, even a child has a parent that would have to help them along that journey. So we're all adults here. The consultation and everything has been set in place. What is accepted, what is not accepted. And if they choose to continue to be non-compliant, I just have to let them go.
I like the way you said that. And also I think it is a matter of respect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, most definitely.
And we set the standard for our clients. They want their locks to look beautiful. And, it's really hard. It gets frustrating when a client has a particular issue with their locks. Yeah. And you tell them it's because of you using X, Y, and Z. You can't be any clearer. But every client, they come back and they have that same problem. And just like you said, we'll have a conversation. But I like to keep it simple. I will just send out a message saying, I have decided to release you from my chair. Yeah. Depending on if I know someone who I think that it could fit for them, I will give them a referral. Yes. Or you send them to sisterlocks.com. But it's never my intent to make clients feel bad, right? It's just that also not every client consultant relationship is a good fit. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have your Sisterlocks or anything like that. You want to find someone who you can really, I think, mesh with, that you can trust. And I think that is really important. That goes on both sides. As a client, if you don't trust your consultant, if she's not professional, if you don't feel comfortable, it's up to you to do your due diligence and find another consultant. And as consultants, if you have a client who sometimes I feel like they're just fighting against me. Yeah. I'm not going to fight you for your Sisterlocks to do your hair. So I think that is really important. Thank you for that advice. Yeah. And I just want to thank my co-host, Jessica, for doing an amazing job interviewing our guest, Ms. Gretel. She's amazing. We'll have to, check her out on her podcast. Yeah. And,
what was that? It was 3 Trees Serenity Space, LLC. Yeah. 3 Trees Serenity Space.
we'll have to check her out there. I really enjoyed hearing from her, and she just really broke down,
Yes.
you know, the importance of pre-education, those
Mhm.
documents. So,
Yeah.
and because pre-education is such a valuable tool to help improve client satisfaction and just preparing your clients for their Sisterlock journey.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
would
those
like to,
agreements.
yes, the
When
client
she
agreement.
broke them down, I was like, gosh, it breaks it all the way down to protect the consultant in every level of this business, because the client can never say that they didn't understand what was being said. It's in black and white, and they signed it.
But also, it protects the clients too.
Yeah,
I signed this, and this is what I'm doing.
you most
But
definitely correct.
But the other part of that client, the pre-education, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know, how can I have regular retirement appointments if you're not available, or you're canceling my appointments, or you do not provide the Sisterlocks products? So everything with Sisterlocks, it benefits clients and, you know, and consultants to have that protection.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I just want to remind everyone, you know, you can keep in touch with us at our YouTube channel, on Instagram, Facebook, and I think we'll be having a TikTok. A TikTok should be up and running by the time this video comes out. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.